Hello and welcome to Not Just Disney and to the latest of our videos in which we are completing the Canadian Premier League 2020 using Legacta, the 1970s football simulation game played using dice. Today we'll be bringing you match sets 7 and 8, and at the end of these we'll be able to see which team will be rolling the form die for the next 4 match sets. Before we go over to the stadium though, let's just take a quick look at the table as it stands. Edmonton still leading, but only on goal difference now from York 9. And at the bottom of the table, Valor have pulled themselves off the bottom with 2 consecutive wins after 4 straight defeats, meaning that Pacific drop to that bottom slot. But there's still only 8 points difference between Edmonton at the top of the table and Pacific at the bottom, so still a lot to play for. So I think it's time now to go over to the stadium for today's matches. Hello and welcome back to the stadium. Our match official is in place and it's time to get match set 7 underway. It's Forge at home to Edmonton. Forge in third on 9 points at the moment. When they had the form die as champions, they won 2 games but still lost 2. Edmonton now have the privilege of rolling that extra yellow die, but it hasn't done them much good. They've just drawn a game and lost a game. So the points difference for Legacta is a 3-point advantage to Edmonton. That means we'll be rolling the blue and red die, followed by the yellow die for Edmonton. So Forge first of all as the home team, and that's a 3. Good scoring there from Forge. Edmonton top of the league at the moment on goal difference though at the moment, and that's just 1. They do have the form die though, so at the moment a 3-1 lead to Forge. And just 1 from the form die, giving Edmonton another defeat with that form die. It really is turning into a bit of a poisoned chalice, isn't it? So that gives Forge a 3-2 victory. The second match, it's Pacific. They have dropped to the bottom of the table following 2 successive defeats. Cavalry just 1 point ahead of them, and they lost their last 2 matches too. In Legacta League the points difference is 0, so it's the red and the blue die again. Pacific get the blue as the home team, and that's a 3, another 3 for a home team in 2 successive matches. Cavalry 2. So match set 7 begins with 3-2 home wins. Our third match, it's Valor, and they are playing the New Boys Atletico. The points advantage is 1 to Atletico, and they had 2 wins in the last 2 match sets and they're currently in 5th place. Valor rolling blue then, Atletico rolling red. Can we have another 3-2 victory? Well, it's certainly on the cards. That's the 3rd team in a row to score 3 goals. So Atletico, will it be 2? And it is! This is quite extraordinary. I must point out that we are rolling live die. We don't do any retakes or re-rolling of any description. So that's a 3-2 victory to Valor. Surely we can't have a 4th game in a row. It is possible though, because we are rolling the blue and the red die again, because York 9, who are now currently in 2nd place, just behind Edmonton on goal difference, they will be rolling the blue die with a 2-point Legacta lead over Wanderers, who have dropped from second place after the first 4 games down into 4th. So, here we go again. I almost didn't roll these. The blue die for York. And it had to end sometime. 1 for York. And now for Wanderers. 2. So still 2 there for the away team, but actually an away victory, 2-1 to Wanderers. So that's match set 7 completed. 3 3-2 home wins and 1 2-1 away win. Match set 8 then brings together Atletico, who lost in that first match set there today, against Wanderers, the only away winners. The points difference in Lagacta terms is 4 away points in the favour there of Wanderers. So we'll be rolling the black die twice. And remember, if the singles dot side of the black die comes up, that is 1 goal. So here we go then. Atletico rolling the black die first of all. And that's a 2. And now it's Wanderers' turn. And it's a 1. So Atletico back on winning form there. A 2-1 victory over Wanderers. It's Cavalry now at home to Edmonton. And the points difference here is 5 away points to Edmonton. That means it's the black die again for both teams. That's 2 for Cavalry. Edmonton. Nothing for Edmonton, but they do get the form die. I almost forgot that. Luckily the match official was here to remind me. So Edmonton, 2-0 lead at the moment to Cavalry. And it's a 2-1 victory to Cavalry. Edmonton really hitting some hard times now. That's 2 successive defeats. And with the form die, they have only obtained 1 point out of a possible 12. That form die is a poisoned chalice indeed. Our next match, it's Pacific at home to Forge. Forge have 2-point advantage in Lagacta. That means it's back to the blue and the red die again. And that's 3 for Pacific. And for Forge, 3. 3 all draw there, high scoring game. Our final match today in match set 8 is Valor at home to York. And York have a 3-point advantage, a 3-point away advantage. So that means it's the red and the blue again. Valor, just 1. And that means York now, if they score, every team has scored in every match we've played today. So it's Valor 1, York with a red die. 2. An away victory there for York. So that's looking good for putting them at the top of the table, I believe. But we need to confirm that, so let's pop back to the studio and see how those results have indeed affected the current league table. So some very exciting matches there. Incredibly, in match set 7, those 3-2 home victories in a row. And let's have a look and see how that has then affected the table. Edmonton have dropped to 3rd, and it's now York who head the way on 16 points from Forge FC, last year's champions, on 13. The only other movement position wise was at the foot of the table, where Pacific pulled themselves off the bottom of the table and Valor resumed their place there on goal difference. Now, as we've completed another 4 matches, it's time to reassess who are the form team. And looking at the last 4 games, we had 3 teams with 3 wins and a defeat. That was Atletico, Valor and York 9. So to split them and just to decide which was the form team, we looked at goal difference over those 4 games, and they're all on +2. So we then looked at goals scored. Atletico were on 8, Valor were on 8, and York 9 were on 10. So they get the form die, that extra yellow die that should increase their chances of victories. Although we found that Forge didn't do too well. They lost 2 games with the form die, and Edmonton actually only managed to get 1 point during the 4 matches that they had the form die. So it'll be interesting to see how York cope with that extra die to roll. So that's just about it for now. Coming up next time, we have match sets 9 and 10. I'd like to thank you for watching, and we look forward to you seeing us again very soon here on Not Just Disney. Bye for now.